Hello friends, welcome back to your channel Programming is Fun. My name is Indranil and this is a new playlist that I'm going to create. It will be related to DSA practice and DSA concepts. Okay, I will not be teaching full DSA like everything which other people have already taught in their playlist, but I will be helping you solve questions and understand the question and the concept, the intuition behind those problems. Okay, I will be using C++, and I also would encourage you to use C++ if you can, but this is not limited to C++. To be honest, you can apply those concepts to any programming language of your choice. It can be Java, Python, .NET, whatever you want. Okay, so in order to continue with this playlist, you need to set up your machine and your playground for this particular tutorial. Okay, so before we jump into the actual setup, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, so first things first, you need to use a machine. Of course, you need to have a machine. It can be either running on Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever it is, right? And I will be using VS Code, Visual Studio Code, as my preferred IDE in this particular whole journey. So you can follow this article here. You will find all the important links which I'm showing you right now on the screen in the description of this video. So don't panic. Okay, and then you have to install the extensions. Everything is outlined here, and then we will be installing the compiler. So the compiler I will be using is MinGW. You click on this tutorial link and you will be able to download the installer from this link directly. Once you install it, it will get installed in the default location, which is C:\M_sys64. Let me show that to you. Okay, let me bring it here. And this is the folder, M_sys64. Okay, like that. Inside that folder, you will have another folder, UCRT64, and then you have bin. So under this bin folder, you have all the exes that you need to compile your program. Okay, and once this is installed, make sure you put this folder path under your environment variables, which is the path variable. So for that, you can, if you're on Windows, you can simply type sysdm.cpl in the run prompt, go to advanced environment variables, and make sure you're under the users variables section. Click on path, edit, and this is the folder path I've added here on my machine. Once that is done, you can simply open any terminal on your machine. It can be command prompt, PowerShell, doesn't really matter. So once this is loaded, it's loading my profile. Give it a sec. Or I can show you. Okay, there you go. You can simply type G++ -- version. It will show the current version that you have installed. Similarly, you have other exes like GCC version and GDB. So GDB is generally used for the debug purposes. All of them are installed and they are getting fetched from this bin directory. Okay, make sure you add that to your users environment variables. Otherwise, it will not work. And the same instruction you will find in this article as well. After you install the tool chain, go to step number 7. It says add the path of your UCRT64 bin directory to the Windows path environments. And of course, I am on Windows, so I'm following the instructions for GCC on Windows. You can click any of these links according to your machine's operating system, Linux or Mac OS, and follow the instructions there. Once that is done, right, you can then go to this GitHub directory and simply clone it anywhere you would like. Okay, this is a boilerplate directory structure I've created for you. So what I did, or you can do, can simply go to the code, download the zip file as well. So then you can go to your favorite folder. So I created one folder here for the name YouTube DSA, and I've pasted all of it here. And then once it is there, you can simply right click, open with code, and that should open the folder in the Visual Studio Code editor as you're seeing on the screen right now. So if you can see, if you notice that I have a 2-column layout. So on the left column, you will have your source code, which is the CPP file. As of now, I have the demo.cpp file opened here. On the right, you have 2 text documents. One is your input and the other one is your output. So you can put any input parameter here, like the parameters which you use, which you input using the cin function. You can put it here. Okay, and the output will be displayed here. For example, I can show you. So if I put int age and cin age, okay, that's my input variable, and then I can simply, see out like your age is the age, right? So I can put my age here, let's say 37, and if I build this CPP file, so for the build, I can simply go to terminal, ignore the right hand side panel, go to configure default build task. Okay, and in this particular project structure under tasks.json, you will have 2 tasks created. So the one you would use is this one: compile and run the file with IO. Okay, so go again, configure default build task, and under this drop down, so this is already marked as default in my machine, but you can simply click it and it will mark this as default. So you see the default parameter has been set to true. Okay, so now whenever I build Control-Shift-B this project, it will automatically give me the output in the output.txt file, and the build window will automatically close for you so that you have the maximum room available. So once you are done with this setup and you are at this point where you have a 2-column layout, code on the left, output on the right, you are done. So we can start our journey from the next video, where we will be discussing a little bit about arrays, and we'll see some basic sorting algorithms. You must have seen it already. It is very common and you will find a lot of tutorials on the internet, but I would again want you to revisit the sorting algorithms, and I'll show you some tricks. Since we are using C++, C++ has got a lot of power. So I'll show you some tricks and tips on how you can, let's say, optimize your code a little bit. Okay, the concepts will remain the same, but how you write the code is going to be a little more funnier. Okay, with that being said, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.